What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the New York Knicks MyLeague. I intended to show another game 20 of the season, but the file went corrupt and I was not able to even upload an episode of the series during the past week due to other issues as well. So we are here almost halfway point of the season. We're like a game away from the halfway point of the season, taking on the 21-13 upstart Bucks, who just picked first or second overall in this recent draft, as they do have Harry Giles on their team. So very, very surprising team so far. Very interesting what they're doing with their personnel as well. They have Greg Monroe starting at center, Harry Giles starting at power forward, and Jabari Parker starting at small forward. So Giannis Antetokounmpo is coming off the bench for them, even though he's their highest rated player. I do not exactly know his stats up to this point on the season, but they have a very interesting starting lineup, a very big starting lineup. Chris Middleton is several inches taller than Avery Bradley. I believe he's about 6'6" or 6'7", and it really showed throughout this game as Avery Bradley struggled to score at many points when Chris Middleton was guarding him, not only due to being a good defender, but due to the size advantage that Middleton had on him. And Middleton had a pretty great night of his own. We were not able to really have anyone come in and guard him successfully, and I did not want to put Melo on him because that put Bradley on Jabari Parker, and that was not a good thing. So I ended up just running a lot of Gabe Green lineups this game, where he would be our shooting guard, and we would have basically three big guys. We'd have Melo, Zinger, and Whiteside. So I was running a lot of that, and then Gabe Green, obviously a small forward, was playing shooting guard for much of the game in that lineup. And Melo actually hurts himself right there, but it is not a major injury. It is just a hip bruise. I don't know if there was some sort of contact, even though I shook the defender. There's a chance there would have been contact. And here's Chris Middleton getting to work. Gabe Green fouls him, trying to chase down block. Gabe Green, like I probably said in the first game, I don't remember if I included the screenshot. No, because I was not able to show the first game. I had to show the second game of the season. He's very versatile. He's averaging about one of everything. He's like 17 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and a block per game, which shows his versatility. He's pretty much doing everything, whether good or bad. He's playing great perimeter defense and pretty solid post defense whenever I have him in games. I have not been able to hit jumpers with him consistently or hit inside shots. It's been a very big struggle, and I believe this game, again, has quite the struggle of actually getting his shots to fall, but in due time I believe that will come, as I might just be playing with him when he's having his typical not consistent rookie games. I don't know, but the team hasn't really suffered because of it. Like the game I was going to show, we were 16-3, and we just lost our first back-to-back in that episode that I had intended to show in place of this. So our team has been pretty great this year. I believe we're about 35 and or not 35, 34 and 8 or something like that. Well, obviously that math wouldn't be right, but something around that with the loss total. We've only lost like 8 to 10 games at this point in the season, and we've been a better team than we were the first 2 years of this MyLeague. There was only a 2-win adjustment between this MyLeague, or this first season we had where we were 50-32, and the second season where we were 52-30, and that was a lot of overachieving. And our playoff run last year kind of showed a little bit of overachievement, as we swept a team that was a lot better than they played. In the first year we played Boston in the first round, who were not a good team, that just kind of overachieved, or not a good team in the game anyway, who kind of overachieved. So I do feel like this year's team is the best team we've had, and I honestly think that might be because of the 9-man rotation. I think that we're relying a lot more on, or are balancing our rotation better. We're relying a lot less on, Nick Young and KJ to make contributions. Not that they weren't, but they were not making the contribution combined that Gabe Green has this year. That and the development of Porzingis. This game he has about 40, and the game against Philly he wasn't playing. But the first game I played with him and the second game I played with him, he actually struggled to start the year. The simulation was really nice to him early on. As he went down with injury, he had about 15-9 or 14-9, and he has been really good since coming off injury. I believe he's averaging about 18-10 at the All-Star break, which will be the next episode of this. Will be a All-Star break, or not the next episode, one more episode before the All-Star break recap video, and then I believe we have 2 or 3 games after the All-Star break against really good opponents. I was trying to play teams that were really good, but the first half of the schedule was just not doing it. Like, we played Portland and Philadelphia in the first 2, and they were both, 500. I think Portland's below 500 now in this simulation. I'm not exactly sure, but Bucks are a good team. They have a good record. The next game is going to be against Washington. They're not necessarily a great team, but they are vying for a playoff spot in that 5th or 6th seed. The Eastern Conference is really, really bad this year. So they're vying for an Eastern Conference playoff spot, and they'll be our next opponent. And they have Ben Simmons. They drafted Ben Simmons and Thon Maker, so it's an interesting team to go up against. But this gameplay is wrapping up. I didn't really discuss it a lot. I just kind of used it as feeder material while I discussed the league, or the series as a whole, and what's going on kind of in the league before the All-Star break, because I don't really get a chance to discuss that very often in these videos. Also, this game wasn't really interesting. It was close at certain points, but we completely blew it open in the 3rd and 4th quarter and got up by a ton of points. Plus, Gabe Green got hot, and Avery Bradley also got hot, which made it pretty much not competitive at all. So we beat the Bucks by 10 points. I believe Porzingis had 39 and 11. We'll see here in a couple minutes. And Whiteside had a really good game. He's been dominating lately. He had a triple-double in that first game that I showed you guys. He had another double-double in the last game. Melo had a 27, 6, and 5, which is pretty solid. 18 and 7 with 2 blocks is not bad. Gabe Green shot 3 of 15, including 1 of 5 from downtown. And Bradley turned out a decent night despite a slow start. But we're not really relying overly on bench players this year. So it's been and we bet a better team for it. I'm just worried about if injuries hit again, although we didn't seem to struggle when it happened the first time. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoy, and we will see you next time for the Knicks MyLeague, where we will be taking on the Washington Wizards. See you then.